Hello there. In this video we'll be checking out the black and white history of famous American black people, of which you can see on screen at the moment. And just as an addendum to the previous video I made on the history of Lancashire families, nobility, you can see I forgot to mention that on my family tree, the Waddingtons, let's just have a look at it. If we follow the Waddingtons all the way back, well, we eventually get into the Parkers, but you can see the Townleys there, and from the Townleys that links in eventually to the big names, and the Shireburns there, we've got links to the Shireburns and all the big names. So even on my family tree, it does link back to all the nobility of Lancashire. But that was the previous video, this is the current video, and you can see Denzel Washington here for this. We're going to have a look at the family trees of famous American celebs, and you can see Denzel Washington. So first of all, this is what we expect to see. We're going to be looking at black, for want of a better word, Americans, so of colour, or you know, kind of different coloured than white, but I'm going to be using black for the rest of this thing, because it's an easier word to use than of colour all the time, because of colour doesn't necessarily mean that they come from Africa. But anyway, this is Denzel Washington. You can see his father is black, mother's black, and this is what you should see. If there are black natives on the family tree, it should be very difficult, in fact, to find the records for them, if the records even do exist, because if they did in fact come from the slavery trade, and they did come from the west shoulder of Africa, then these natives here, this heritage, won't have been written down, because they won't have been recognised as a citizen until they stopped being a slave. And at some point, some slaves decided to, well, there was a drive actually. A lot of white American guys who were single realised that they could get black American women to be their own slaves just by marrying them, and that was the thing. You could buy your own slaves, and then they realised if they married them they didn't have to pay them, but then they'd do exactly the same housework. So there was a big drive to marry into blacks, but you can see on this line black, so we can only assume that because the records don't exist, then it was more than likely black. But even on this tree, we've got some oddments, and if there are any green areas on the first page of any tree, that usually means that it goes back to the beginning of time. And if it goes back to the beginning of time, it usually means, on this example, that they are actually white. So let's have a look. Nathaniel Page and Sarah Page Williams. So we don't have a clue about the colour of the skin. It's nothing like that on Geni. We'll be using Geni for this video. You can see North Carolina, which is where you expect people to come from, because that's kind of all the slaves and all the people were hanging out in Carolina at that time, and Virginia and those kinds of places, Virginia. So they did hang around those places. Herod, biblical name. Nathaniel is a biblical name, so you'd expect these to be black, actually, using biblical names like that. Nathaniel, let's just have a look and see if we can see anybody. I think it's the first time I've seen this family tree, I'm not so sure, but following this back, North Carolina. So we don't know whether these guys are white guys or black guys, but we do know that these things go all the way back. And if they do go all the way back, it means that they have to be white. So let's have a look. British colonial America, Virginia, and let's see now, Whitehead. So Watkins, definitely a British name. And sometimes slaves took on the names of their owners, so you can't necessarily say that if someone's called Paul Whitehead is definitely white. But you can see definitely Arthur Whitehead and all the rest of it. He links into Arthur Whitehead of Rochdale, which is just down the road from me, obviously Rochdale in Lancashire. So he has Lancashire connections, and those go all the way back. If you follow those guys, which I've done on my tree, they'll link all the way back to the guys in Rochdale, and sometimes they might even link into Sir Arthur Percival. That's interesting. And Joy of Beregis and Joiner. More Joiner. Well, they do go all the way back. I could follow all these back, but this is going to be a long video. These are basically white guys. Thomas White of the Isle of Wight was a white guy. So if you follow all these back, these are all white guys. That means he has to be a white guy. He has to be a white guy. So let's go back to the previous one. And that means he has to be a white guy, he has to be a white guy. So that means she has to be a white kid. She might have married into a black guy, and that might have meant that these might be black guys, but because this is Sir, black guys were never called Sir. Or, well, that could be senior actually, but there could be an N there. I'm not quite sure. Senior and junior, that's probably what it is actually. Cobb Walker. Noah, that's again a biblical name, and it's not going to give us any information on this apart from North Carolina. Patriots in the American Revolution, North Carolina. Well, that usually means he's a white guy. There weren't too many blacks, although there were a significant number fighting for the South. So you can see he fought for the South. It usually means he's a white guy. So war patriot there, Peterson, so that means he has to be a white guy. Let's have a look. And Williams, that means he has to be a white guy. Rain. Well, I'm not so sure about Rain. Virginia Washington Page. So it looks like this could actually be a white woman marrying into a black guy. We don't know. But this looks black and that looks black. So even in Denzel Washington's family tree, it's still got 25% white and 75% black, as far as we know, from this tree. And if somebody had filled it in a bit more, then we'd have a bit more. But you can see the black and white history there. So we've listed a load of black people here. We'll be going through them. And there are a few stereotypes, which I might go into a bit later on. Some of these I've followed already, some of these I haven't. So let's try the first one, Will Smith. So all you have to do is type it in, followed by Geni. And so that's his real name. It comes up as an actor. And then it will automatically find it on Geni. And then you click the profile. If you've registered on Geni, it should come up with a nice long list here. So Will Smith, black and black. So that's great. All his mother's side looks black. All of his father's side looks black. But even this, look. Charles King, Moretta Ham, Claude Eugene King Johnson. Well, Johnson could be a black name. Let's have a look. Let's follow this back. Obviously it's green, so we know it goes all the way back to the beginning of time. And let's have a look. And ends up German. So he's got German ancestry. So Will Smith, Hessen, Germany. Okay, alright then. So all these are German. Bellinger, Borst. That was obviously Turnpike, United States. Toronto. So these German immigrants to Toronto. New York, I think that said. Anyway, you can see that they're all linked up. That will be German. Boris is German. Michael Jonas, Iron King. So, yeah, Germany. So, all these are white guys, by the way. So it looks like even Will Smith, he's got 25% white. We know that's white, we know that's white. So at some point, somebody married into somebody who married into some blacks. So that's why Will Smith has got a tiny bit of white in him. And if you followed that tiny bit of white, it'd go all the way back to England and all the way back to Germany in this case, and you could find his German ancestors. Can you believe it? So anyway, let's try another one. Eddie Murphy. That's if they have an account, and virtually all of these have an account. So we'll have a look at it. Eddie Murphy. So look at that lane. So that would be a black side to me, so we can ignore that. That's obviously black. So let's look. United States, Tyrrell County. Oh. And then apparently he's got Mary Bannatyne. So that goes all the way back. So that's a white woman. And Fanny Rhodes Boykins. I'm not so sure about that, but George Rhodes. I wonder if it gives us any information. North Carolina. What a surprise. Let's see now. Sometimes it will give us the odd bit of information. Dublin County, United States. It's not giving us anything for this particular one. Peggy, North Carolina. So we don't really know, but I'm assuming that there are at least one or two white people in any Murphy's line. And if you follow them back, obviously they go all the way back. So let's see who Eddie Murphy's connected to. We could follow any of these lines. David Chestnut, Edward Alder. Wow, look at that. Another David Chestnut. So look at that. It's actually got relations, cousins. So Chestnut. This is the first time I've seen this. Dorothy Jane Chestnut and Sarah. So they're obviously different daughters. One of them married in Samuel Spearman. The other one married Alderman. And then they had a son who was different. And he had a daughter who married his cousin's son, who gave him that one. So that's why they and they are exactly the same. So let's have a look at this lost ancestor first of all, see if he connects to the Bishop of London. So Henry Hollingsworth II, that's a big name. Samuel Chestnut. What is this Chestnut guy? Hollingworth Antrim. Killed by Indians. So Frederick, alright then. So he came over to America. Chestnut. Spelt in the King James Bible. So anyway, this guy came from County Antrim, so he was an Irish settler, Alexander Samuel Chestnut. He was killed by the Indians. So, that obviously goes back to Ireland. Parnell and O'Dane, that's Irish, Parnell, so that's all Irish. Sir Henry Senior, I think that's obviously English. Let's check that out. Colonial America, Carolina. He came from, received in Dupin County, Ireland. So they're going back to Ireland, these guys. So Irish. Who would have thought that Eddie Murphy was Irish? But anyway, if we follow all this back, Hollingsworth is kind of an East Lancashire name. It's going back to Cheshire according to this. Hollingsworth Hall, Mottram, Cheshire. So he's got Cheshire ancestors, and that goes all the way back to the beginning of time. Even though there's only 7 listed, that might just be the male line. Hollingsworth Savage. Let's just have a quick look. I can't see anybody else that's standing out as a massive name. But anyway, England. So anyway, it goes without saying that all these were white guys. So Eddie Murphy's got white heritage, in this case Irish and English. So He's got maybe 25% white. Let's have a look. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy. And it's not going to tell us anything about... I mean, Murphy, you can't get any more Irish than the name Murphy, can you? Look at this. United States. It's not going to tell us. But the Murphys... Well, then again, if the Murphys were white, then he'd be white. So, maybe Alice Jackson Gurgenius, which is a very strange name to be white. If she was black and this guy married a black woman, she'd be black. If Murphy, then again, well, she's white, so he's white, so he's white. So Murphy's a black woman. She married a white guy, that means he's black, that means he's black, that means he's black. These are all white. And then this one's black. So it gives us a rough idea. So let's move on to another one. Lawrence Fishburne. I think it's with an E. Is it with an E? It'll find him. That's the thing. It'll find him. Lawrence Nichols Fishburne, Geni. Is that him? Let's find out. No, that's an Australian guy. So it looks like Screen Actors Guild Award. Alright then, he isn't there. Fine. Cuba Gooding Jr. Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh well. Cuba Michael Gooding Jr. So, Michael, biblical name. Let's wait for that tree. Sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. Let's have a look. And look at that. Oh, look at that. Black, black, white. Does it connect to anybody? No. But does it give us any clues? This will be North Carolina. Yes, it is. What a surprise. North Carolina, Carolina. But the fact that she's known at all, or he's known at all, what is this Calvin guy? That means he was buried in a white cemetery, got married in a white cemetery. It was written down, marriage of, it was written down 1924. So there's a good chance Williams, it's kind of a Scandinavian name, son of William. And Alston, that sounds British. Morrick sounds Irish. So even this guy, even though they haven't followed it back, the fact that they've actually got records from 4 generations back almost proves it. So I'm willing to bet that he's got another 25%. Let's have a look. Forrest Whitaker. Let's see if he's got one. Actor, that must be him. View tree. So this is going to be a long video. We might as well look through them. Forrest Whitaker. Black, white. Let's see what happened to him. Whitaker. It's short for Whiteacre, which is British name. Palmer Baxter. Well, again, the fact that they go back proves it. Texas. We're not going to get much from this, because in 1835 they were still coming over. Tennessee, Texas. Well, yeah, they were still coming over at that point, so we don't know. But anyway, Baxter, Palmer, obviously they're British. So, Whitaker. Anyway, Villainy Ray Whitaker. Ville Ray. Well, that could be from anywhere, to be honest. I'm not going to even hazard a guess. But I will guess that these two guys were white. So that means Ida Whitaker, Baxter is white. If Tyler Whitaker was black, that means he's black, So, yeah, no problem. Let's have a look. Again, some of these I've looked at and some of them I haven't. Don Cheadle, I haven't looked at him, if he even has one. Don Cheadle, Kansas City, Missouri. Is that him? Yeah, that's him. Let's view that tree. View that tree. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at this. Well, nothing goes back, so we haven't got anything for definite. Hence Cheadle. Cheadle, Cheshire name, from Cheshire. So let's have a look. We haven't got any information. Kemp. Kemp's another British name. So we don't know. Lewis, I think he's Scotland or Irish. Maggie Cheadle Lewis. You don't really get many black folk called old Maggie Cheadle Lewis. Barnes and Carroll. Well, Cheadle. I'm pretty sure that goes back to Cheshire, if you followed that back. Let's have a look at this side. Basil Leon North. Louise North Tompkins. Myers Canaloy. It's not going to tell us anything, so we don't know. But Canaloy sounds Irish. Horace Marion North. Again, if it told us any information about this, we'd be able to know. We don't know, but the fact that they're there usually means there's a lot going on. So that's interesting. What was I up to? Wesley Snipes. You have to remember, just put Geni on the end of it. You can say I've already visited this one already. What if I found out? Wesley Snipes. I'm pretty... Is this him? Soon find out. Oh no, this is the other Wesley Snipes. This is a white guy. So, because there was no Wesley Snipes black guy. So he's obviously white. There's no point looking at him. He's connected up to all kinds of people, obviously, because he's a white guy. So anyway, let's look at the next one. Chris Rock. Chris Rock, actor, comedian. In other words, entertainer. Actor, comedian, writer, supporter, activist. Big mouth. That's him. Let's have a look. Chris Rock. Rock, Abraham, Rock. That sounds like an American, black American name, Berkeley, United States. We don't know. Alain, that's French. Mary. Well, it's not really giving us much black heritage here. That could be black. Let's have a look. Julius Caesar. So Chris Rock is related to Julius Caesar. You didn't know that, did you? South Carolina. And so, let's have a look. Eliza, she goes all the way back. So she's linked to everybody. And Moultrie. Moultrie. The French name, but it could be English. Let's have a look. South Carolina, it's not going to tell us anything, is it? Charlton Heston. Harleston. Let's have a look. Quash. Harleston. All these are white names, by the way. Even though it's not telling us anything about anybody. I'm pretty sure that they are. Because if you follow any of these back, Austin, Moultrie, let's see. Leads to... It's not going to tell us. Moultrie, well, that's a French name, obviously. Well, that could have come through Britain. Ah, Scotland. Scotland, Scotland, Scotland. Right, fine. He's a white guy. So, Chris Rock has got Scottish heritage. Let's have a look. Austin. Austin Powers. George Austin. These are all white. You can see the white. Elias Paul, Redcap. Harleston. Harleston. Haven't we just seen that before? Harleston. Maybe it's worth having a quick look. England, Essex. So anyway, if you follow that all the way back, look at that, 28 and 26, that just leads to everybody. Wentworth, that's a big name, I know that for a fact. So they just lead to everybody, all the nobility, all the kings and queens that have ever lived. So, Chris Rock. That means you're related to Chris Rock. Let's have a look. White guy, white guy, white guy, white guy. Hannah Child. Moultrie, white guy, white guy, white guy. So that means she's a white woman, married into Julius Caesar. Telefair, sounds French. And Tingman. Well, I'm pretty sure that's white, so he's white. And she's black. Pearl, that's definitely a black name. McClam, McClam's a Scottish name. Well, anyway, so that could mean she's white, but if she's black, then she's black. So that's his 25%. Chris Rock. So some of these I've never heard of, so that's why I'm not even putting them in. And this thing is going to take a long time. As it is. So I'm skipping out all the people that I don't actually recognise. I'm just skipping on to the famous classic celebrities. Richard Pryor. So Mary Bryant, that's black, that's black, that's black, that's all black. All black. D. Kirby, Craig. A. Craig Sr. Williams. Brown. James Brown. I feel good. So one of his ancestors was James Brown. Not the James Brown. Nearly Brown. It's not going to tell us any information about them. So why is John Ashmore and Martha Ashmore from Tennessee and Texas, why did they have a daughter named Brown? Well, then again, that's her married name, isn't it? Texas, Texas. So we don't know. Wiley Brown. Anyway, it says son of Wiley Brown. Anyway, we don't know. We don't know. They haven't filled it in. But that could be the blackest family tree I've seen for a long time, actually. Then again, William A. Craig Sr. That sounds like a white name to me. We don't know. Being of Choctaw descent. Right, finally. So this is the first guy that we've found with Native American Indian descent. Choctaw. I knew we'd find one because it's Richard Pryor. It looks like a Native American. So let's have a look. These are Native Americans. They've got high cheekbones which are on line with the bridge of the nose. You can see the cheeks are sunk in. The nose is quite slender, but it is a bit fatter at the bottom. So these are black Americans. They've got lower cheekbones which lines up with the bottom of the nose. Bottom of the nose. So they tend to be big and bulbous and they stick out. They're not sunk in. So different cheeks, different wide flat noses. So you look at Native Americans and then you look at Richard Pryor. Well, he looks like he's got Native American blood in him because, well, then again his cheekbones still line up with the bottom of his face. He's still got a big wide nose. But anyway, that's one way you can tell. But yeah, this is the first guy with Native American descent. That means he's black because he's got Native American descent. Not necessarily he's black because he's got, actual black people descent, but obviously he has. Rudolph, Missouri, because he's black. That means one of these guys must be black, and he's black and he's white. So, So he's got Native American descent. And he's also got black descent. So he's the blackest guy that we've found so far, it looks like. Let's have a look. LL Cool J. I don't think I've followed him before. I don't think anybody's even done this before. Father of LL Cool J. Alright then. Well then again, this is just give us his farthest side, isn't it? Farthest black. Saxton, Goody Saxton, Nathaniel Goody Saxton, that goes all the way back. So he's white, she's white, she's white. Samuel Saxton's probably white, because we've got a record. Saxton, Willie Bright Smith, that could have been black. Or Fanny Bell Smith Tucker. Willie Bright Smith. It's not telling us. Celebs, it's not telling us. But anyway, it's going to give us Nathaniel Goody, he's white. So that's the 25% black in LL Cool J. So that's good. Who else have we got? Denzel Washington. I think we started with him, didn't we? Danny Glover. Let's have a look. So it's pretty interesting so far. We've managed to get white in virtually all of the black guys, including the last one. Danny Glover, path now found, Danny Glover. I don't think he's got a profile. So we can't do him. Morgan Freeman. Genie, is this him? It is him. Morgan Freeman. Freeman is a black name. It stands for free man. So John Freeman is probably black. But this woman, Keziah Elizabeth McLenmore of Scottish descent, was white. McLenmore of the clan McLenmore. Mississippi, okay. John Thomas McLenmore, he goes all the way back. Smith's go all the way back. She was a white woman. So she married into a white man. A black guy, I think. Or if this was white, maybe he was white. But anyway, I doubt it. Freeman, Rivera, J.J. Rivera, all these look black to me. Samuel Green, Lee, Alfred Carr, and Cecilia Johnson. It's not going to tell us anything. That could even be white. That's black. Obviously that's black. Because we haven't got any records. They didn't bother to keep any. So, free man. So that could be a black line, and that's a black line. But he still could be 50% white. Let's have a look. Samuel L. Jackson. How could I forget? Let's have a look. Spell it right. Samuel L. I think that's how you spell it. Oh, yeah. It is him, but I'm not interested in him. I'm just interested in his heritage. Always make sure you've got the right guy. It is him. Oh, I clicked on edit profile. I don't want to edit that profile. I want instead to see it. Sam Jackson. Let's have a look. Leroy. Roy. Davis, Bowen, Watts. So Jackson could be a black name, but all this David and Watts and Bowen isn't. Montgomery. Arthur Branham, which goes all the way back into the beginning of time. So he's white. Fielder, she's white. That means Lily Montgomery Branham is white. She might have married a black guy. But with a game like Gilbert Gibb Montgomery, I'm not sure about that. Pearl Brown sounds black to me. So that's his black line. It runs out. What a surprise. Watts. Well, we don't have any information on these. He hasn't got any other information. But he's still got his 25%, so that's fine. Billy D. Williams. I've never done, I very much doubt they'll have done a Geni tree for Billy D. Williams. December Williams, that's him. That's him. How far does that go? Well, it's insignificant, isn't it? It goes all the way back. Billy D. Well, let's follow that before we do anything else. Who's connected to Billy D? I mean, this just connects to everybody. To the beginning of time. Captain Joseph Brown. Martha Ray Smith. Cormstock. Samuel Cormstock II. So anyway, all these are white guys because we've got records of them. Rhode Island. And they go back, look at all these records. They all go back to the beginning of time. So who looks like prominence to me? I mean, this Joseph Brown and Brown, that's a Scottish name. So we'll have Scottish heritage. Let's just have a look. Arthur Brown, Reverend Chad Brown of Buckinghamshire. American colonies. So he sailed on the Martin, Pastor, came to America, Minister of Rhode Island. Oh. Anyway, he was white. Thomas Brown, Surrey. Anyway, that goes back. It runs out there, but it does go back. Chapman, Aldrich, Sharpstow, Cassidy, Sherman. None of these going back to anything in particular, but I bet if we follow them they will. Odding, Sarah Sherman Odding. What a weird name. Anyway, Essex. Then moved to Rhode Island. Please note, 10th great-grandmother of George W. Bush, Sarah Odding, daughter of William Odding. Cornwall. Anyway, everybody's linked to everybody else, so she's the great-grandmother of George W. Bush. So obviously she's white. George W. Bush is white. Obviously, this guy we're looking at now, I forget who we're looking at actually. Who we're looking at? Billy D. Williams is black. So Billy D. Williams then is connected to George W. Bush. So anyway, yeah, if you follow all these back, they'll go back to infinity. So I'm not really interested in that. That's white. James Preston Williams could have been black, because we don't have any records for him. That means she would have been black, marrying a black guy. Alex Frank Darling Williams. You don't tend to get too many middle names that aren't biblical related in black folk. You know, it'd be black names instead of biblical names instead of these ones. Darling Williams. Do you think a black guy is going to be called that? But anyway. So it is this December. Alright, it's a middle name. Lee Williams Scott. That doesn't sound very black to me. But anyway, we haven't got any information. That could mean that it's not there, or nobody's filled it in. Sydney Poitier. Sydney, how do you spell that? P-O-I-T. Sydney L. Poitier. So I'm going back a bit now. Not many of the current generation have a clue who Sydney Poitier might be. But for all those oldies... So it's not going to tell us anything. His mother and father are both black, so we haven't got any records, so it's looking good. Bahamas, so it wasn't from... In fact, we haven't found anybody from West Africa so far. Or maybe we have, but the records have been filled in. But this proves that he's from the Bahamas. So maybe Bahamas immigration. But Sydney Poitier, his grandfather was Bahamas. So let's have a look at his father. Maybe he was Bahamas as well. The Bahamas, yeah, cab driver. Bahamas. So anyway, does that mean he was born in the Bahamas? Then? No, Miami, Florida. So, does that mean she was born in the Bahamas then? Yeah. So, Bahamas, not West Africa at all, Sydney Poitier. That's why we haven't got any information. James Earl Jones. Luke, I am your father. Well, let's find out whose father. American actor, yep, it's him. Let's find out whose father, shall we? Let's find out. George Washington Jones. Black guy, good. Mississippi, so Bayou, yeah, black guy. So that's all black. Connolly, that's a Scottish name. But we can see the Wyatt Connolly family here. And they all look black to me, if this is going to work. But, and this is the big but, yeah, there's no white faces there. This Patricia Connolly of Connolly is, wait for it, white! Captain Connolly, blah. General Arthur. You don't get to be a general unless you're a white guy. Look at this. Joanna de Surf. Harlington. Van Harlingen. So they didn't come from anywhere in Britain. They were Dutch. Amsterdam. Dutch. Rob Roy McGregor? Rob Roy McGregor? You telling me he's linked to Rob Roy McGregor? Oh, God, bloody Campbell Roy. Red McGregor was a famous Scottish hero, outlaw. Wow. So James Earl Jones is related to Rob Roy, the very incredibly famous Scottish, what was he, a warrior, a leader, an inspirer, a rebel, a freedom fighter, whatever he was a guy. And he's famous. And he's linked to James Earl Jones. Wow. No wonder he's got that fighting spirit. Rob Roy, I am your father. McNichol, Scottish Campbell, McAlpine, Scottish, Duncan. So, Henry Connolly II, that looks Irish. Connolly, of course. Ulster Island. And he moved to, hold on, Charleston, South Carolina. So we know where they moved to. Wow, that's blown me away. That is linked to Rob Roy. So anyway, we know for a fact that this is a white woman. Bryce Connolly. Bryce. Sounds English to me. But then why is she black? Wyatt Connolly. So he must have been black. Bastion. We don't know, but some of these, well, she's white, some of these could be white. Jeter. I'm just wondering why. Like I say, these are all black faces, but anyway, it's not for us to ponder. This is our history, and there's definitely, well, I say there's definitely. Let's just have a quick look. Let's see if this will actually let me look at that in bigger detail. Edit, view full size image, view the full size image. Use a full-size image. Nah, I can't see any white faces there. They're all black, so some blacker than others. Well, some blacker than others. That could just be the way that, because he's white, but because obviously they're both black, so I really can't see that they are. But anyway, James Earl Jones is not only 25% white, or something like that, 7% white. He's also linked to Rob Roy. Wow, that's just blown me away, has that? Blown me away. Let's go for some more. Cassius Clay. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. Let's see. No, it's not nice and black. But Olmsted S. Moorhead is white, because that goes all the way back. Wesley John Alexander, Francis Fry. Let's just have a look. Virginia. And it's not going to tell us. Well, he's black according to that. John Wesley John Alexander. So that's black. That's black. So that's all black. And this one, well, look at that. Look at he. He's black and she's almost white. So let's have a look. Moorhead, Nancy. So that could be black. Because this is white. If you follow this back, it goes, let's have a look. It goes all the way back to Colonel Henry Amistad, who has to be white. William Duncan the Elder came over on the... What? Does it tell us any information? Who knows? Well, anyway, he was born in Dumfries, so he came over and died in Virginia. So he's Scottish. Another Scottish guy. I wonder if he's married, related to Rob Roy. Let's just... Oh, we're looking at Muhammad Ali. Yeah, we are looking at Muhammad Ali now. So... Muhammad Ali's got Scottish roots. William Duncan the Elder is Scottish. Isaac Norman, Francis Courtney, Francis Browning of Culpeper County, Browning, Norman. All these are white guys. Duncan's a white name. And Martha Amistad of Burwell. Colonel Henry Armistead. Well, let's have a look. Roger Armistead of Yorkshire. Yorkshire. Yorkshire guy. And this is Muhammad Ali we're talking about. So Muhammad Ali is rated to a Yorkshire guy. Muhammad Ali. Thompson, Yorkshire guy. Francis Armistead Thompson from Yorkshire. Masterson of Kent. Moved to Massachusetts. So Yorkshire and Kent met up. They sailed there because that's what this boat means. Colonel John Armistead Esquire has to be a white guy. Major Theos Holm. Major. That's a big name. Major. Warwickshire, America. Sheriff. So yeah, and these go all the way back. We can keep following them, but it just proves that he's white. Duncan Moorhead, all these are white. Mary Polly Duncan are white. So that means that's white, that means she's going to be white, that means he's white. Bibb, I'm not sure about that. John Lewis Grady. And it's not going to tell us anything about these, I don't think. It's not going to tell us anything. So anyway, so that's that 25% white. Muhammad Ali. So I'm related to Muhammad Ali. What do you mean you're related to Muhammad Ali? Yeah, I'm connected to Muhammad Ali. Give me a break. No, it's true. Watch this. How are you related? Click on that. After some time, it'll report back that I'm related to Muhammad Ali. Let's have another look at somebody else. Duke Ellington. Has it found it? Yeah, here we go. So I'm related to Muhammad Ali through Sir William Brereton, Lord Justice of Ireland. Very nice. More blah blah blah, and that goes back to him. So he's my cousin 5 times removed. But I am related to him. So let's have a look at... I'm related to all of these guys, by the way, as long as they have a connection that's green over here. But Duke Ellington isn't, unfortunately. So it's looking like we could be on to a winner here. An actual black guy. Is he going to tell us? It's not going to tell us. It's not going to tell us. Captain James William Kennedy. Alice Williams Kennedy. So it's not going to tell us. But anyway, that's just telling us I'm related to Muhammad Ali again. So we don't know about that one. That's looking like it could be another winner. And so let's move on to somebody else. Yep, that's him. Remember to put Geni in there. Dee. Let's have a look. Ooh, look at that. Big fat white mark on it. Francis Gross, that's a French name. And Marguerite Rousseau, that's a French name. So Fats Domino, French. Aubert, Maurice, okay. They go all the way back, so that's French. So half of his family are French. Lacrosse, that means he's white. Aubert. So he could have had a white mother. It's looking like Marie Donatelli Domino Legros d'Aubert is actually a white woman. Could be. We know this is black, but then again, that sounds French. Brown, that sounds black. So he's brown. But it could be. I don't know. I can't see any more records, so I can't judge. So let's just write all that off as black. And this side as well. But look at all this white. And it's all French. All French. Going all the way back. Francis Michael. It's all French. So is this going to be... Well, it's got to be Canada. Arcadia, Canada. And Royal Annapolis, Nova Scotia, Canada. So all these are French Canadians. And if I follow this back, it's going to lead back to France. So all these are French, i.e. white. So he could even be 50% white. He could be, because this Marguerite Aubert doesn't sound particularly black to me. Jean-Pierre Lagros, no. So that could be the whitest black guy that we've found so far. So there are more. I'm sure there are more, but I'm running out of them now. So let's think. Is there any more famous? Well, obviously there is how do you spell it? It's this guy, Barack Obama. Barack Obama. View that tree. It already says that I'm related to Barack Obama because I've searched for him before. So I'm related to him. Black. That goes all the way back, but that actually goes to Kenya. Let's not be fooling ourselves. That goes to West Africa. That goes to Kenya, which is East Africa. Blah. It doesn't actually say... Oh yeah, it does. Kenya. Kenyan. But look at this guy. Does that look like, to you, a white guy? Yes, because he came from Kansas. Died in Hawaii. And he married a white woman. So all these guys... Who am I looking at? Barack Obama. Harry Ellington Armour. Big guy. Payne. McCurry and all the rest of it. These are all white. These are all both white. So Barack Obama's mum was a white woman. So again, 50% white and 50% black. So we've got a lot of white on this side. Let's just click back. If we click back on all of these guys, we'd realise that he's related to everybody else that ever lived. But he's also related to a slave owner called George Washington Orwell. So the white side of his family, who we're looking at again, let's just remind ourselves, Barack Obama. So the white side of his family were actually slave owners. And they came all the way, well, some of them were, on this particular one, Captain Charles Browning. Some of these are big names. Let's have a look. It goes back to John Browning Cecil. Browning. Don't forget Browning invented the machine gun. Maybe he's invented to the guy that invented the machine gun. Or is it Browning's a rifle? I think it is. Browning rifle. Let's have a look. Look at all these. They go all the way back to everybody. He's got French connections. Jean Diamant de Moray from New York. Yeah, he's from New York. That's where he's from. Edward Earl St. Zealand. Netherlands. So yeah, Netherlands. I thought that was French, but it's the Netherlands. So veer down, that's Netherlands again. And John Browning. I think they're already here by now because it's showing the map. Culpeper, Virginia, John Browning. But anyway. So that links back to him. Barack Obama. I'm linked to Barack Obama. He's got tons of white connections everywhere. This is a white tree, so obviously they're all going to be white. So let's go back again. These are all going to be white because he's got a white mother. So that's good. That's good. We found one. A 50-50. So let's have another look. Let's think about what was he called, that guy? Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy Davis Jr. Genie. Saying I've looked at this one already. So let's look. Sammy Davis Jr. And that's because his mum was either Spanish or something like that. Dancer, Puerto Rican. So his mother is Puerto Rican, kind of, we can't say Mexican, and Cuba. So on his mother's side, they were Puerto Rican and Cuban in. So Puerto Rico isn't black and Cuba isn't black. And if you follow these down, Enrique, they're all Spanish. So rather than being black, it's more Cuban and Spanish. Anyway, so this guy's black. But look, Jacob Green is white and Levine Green is white. So at what point? Wife of a patriot. Of Hopwell. Captain John Hunt. So all these are white guys, and this green guy goes back to. Let's just have a look. That Rob Roy is still blowing me away, to be honest. That's unbelievable. Dorset. So the Greens of Dorset, England. So there's Sammy Davis Jr. Them are all white. Oh, let's view that tray again. So this is why it's pretty mysterious, because we've got a whole chunk of his father's side that's white, going all the way back. And if we check this lady as well, that's connected to everybody, of course she's white. McElroy is a nice Scottish name. James McElroy the First. He's got a crest, he's got, virtually a tile. Belfast, alright then, Belfast Irish. So, Sammy Davis Jr. has got Irish roots. McDowell, McClune, Austin again. So, Scottish and Irish roots on that side. Davies, I think, is another can actually be Welsh. Davies. So this is the problem. If he's white and she's white, then that means he's white. So this Davis there, which happens to be private, could mean that she is the black one. Rosa B. Davis, Rosa's black name. So she's black, that means he's black, that means he's married black, that means he's black and he's black. Right then. So it's this one here. We don't have any information about these two women. So it looks like that is the black side of his family. His male line goes back to white, and his female goes back to Spanish. Spanish, white, Spanish. So this is still one of the whitest black guys on the tree. Even though we haven't got much information, we know they're white and they're white. So, pretty interesting. And so you go through all these guys and, you know, they're all pretty similar. They've all got some kind of link there. Americans. I mean, they're all guys at the moment. Let's just list black Americans, list black Americans, African Americans. So we haven't seen any women yet. But, you know, who knows? Halle Berry. I wonder if she's got one. Halle Berry. Oh, Martinez. That just gives it away straight away. So she's obviously not Native American black. She's actually Martinez. Martinez. Let's have a look. Jessie Berry. Well, we can assume Berry's obviously black, like Chuck Berry. That's black. That's all black. William Berry. That's white. What's going on? Why is this side white? McMurty. Joseph McMurty Jr. Somerset, New Jersey. Ayrshire, Scotland. So that's another one with Scottish roots. Another one. Everybody's related to Scottish guys. Virginia, it's not telling us. William Berry, Private Sanford Berry, George Berry. But then again, this William Berry goes back, so I'm presuming these are white. That means he's white. All of these whites, that means he's white. Barry. So, Susanna G. Barry Davis. We haven't got anything for her. We haven't got anything for her, so she could be John W. Winkson. No, he goes all the way back, so he's obviously white. Smith. Winkerson. Smith. That means she's white, that means he's white, that means he's white. Tom Powell, well, she's black, good. So, and she runs out. We haven't got anything for them, so that looks like the black side of the family. And he looks white, so that's why he's black and white. And on this side, looks like she married into that name, because I can't see that name anywhere else. But you can see all these white. Dreschner, that's German. Spalding's white. Andrew Peacock. So these all go all the way back. Peabody. That goes all the way back, so that's white. White, 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 so that guy has to be white. whichever one I looked at. So, well, why? Why? So, apart from this tree here, black, probably black, this is 75% white. White. I'm guessing that's white. Ada Brown Dickin White. Even the cold White. John White Brown. How can you be white brown? Well, that's what Hallie is. White brown. White. So maybe she has got a white mother. That's why it's private. But yes, wow, what an amazing coincidence there. Mostly white. Bill Cosby, I'm not having a look at him. Nat King Cole, well. So, Genie. So, if you did look at Bill Cosby's Genie, obviously he's another white guy, but I'm not showing you that because he's obviously a bad guy, and we're not showing any bad guys on here. Nat King Cole. Cole. So he's another black guy. Look at that. That's nice. That's our second complete black guy. Nat King Cole. No evidence. Lovely. Great stuff. LeVar Burton. Ha! That's a nice one, isn't it? LeVar Burton. Wonder what he is. LeVardis Robert Martin Burton. Ooh. Well, LeVar is a French name. And Burton is an English name. Bradshaw is an English name, but Pearl isn't. Willis isn't. Estelle isn't. So we don't know. We don't know about that, but I'm sure they did one of these family trees and he found out that one of these went back. So that's LeVar Burton. We couldn't get much out of him. We've done Don Cheadle already. Done Sammy Davis Jr. We're getting to the bottom of them now. There isn't too many that I want to go through, because there aren't too many Genie records to go through. And I'm sure you're probably shouting quite a few out. I've done Danny Glover. I don't think I've done Danny Glover, have I? Or have I? One way to find out. Deceased? Oh no, that's not him. Alright, okay. So we haven't done him because Alabama, son of Glover. 18. No, it's not showing me anybody. So, again, maybe he's not even on there. Lou Gossett Jr. Louis Gossett Jr. Looks like this is it. Let's have a look at him. Let's wait and see. Green Gossett. Again, it's not telling us anything. Andy Gossett, Louise Gossett. Anyway, so when I originally went through a lot of these names, I found that a good 10% of these black guys were actually not American black, but they were Native American black. And they were black because they were Native American. Obviously, I can't find those names at the moment. But some of these names are actually black because they're Native American. Especially the lighter black guys. So, who knows? I've done Cuba Gooding Jr., haven't I? I'm sure I have. Ernie Hudson. I ain't afraid no Genie. Alright then, Ernest Arthur Hudson, no, that's not him. American actor. So let's have a look at him. Oh, well, that's fantastic, isn't it? He hasn't bothered filling it in. Well, that's alright. James L. Jones done. Spike Lee. Right then. Hold on a minute. Spike Lee, controversial filmmaker, i.e. entertainer. Spike Lee. Let's have a look. Wadsworth Lee? Alright then. Unknown Edwards, unknown Edwards. But why has it got 4 if it's unknown? Unknown Edwards, unknown. Mike, unknown. Rachel, unknown. Not telling us. No. I'm pretty much... That's the same one. I'm pretty much sure they have to be white, because it just goes back. Susie V. Edwards, white, white, white. Arthur Wadsworth Lee. So he might have a white father. If he doesn't, then this guy is obviously black, because we haven't got any information for him. Arnold Wadsworth Lee. But Wadsworth. Wad, named after Warden. Wadsworth. Sounds to me like another white side of the family. Jackie Carol Lee Sheldon. Zemi Retha. That sounds black to me. Zemi Retha. But look at her parents. Anna Jackson. Alright then. Philip Jackson. Miles Jackson. But why does this one go back? Maybe Samuel Griswold II. He's obviously white. And they go back to the beginning of time. So, Spike Lee. Lucinda Jackson Griswold, white. Myers Jackson. So we don't know if this person and this person Philip Jackson. I'm not sure. If she's black, it could probably be from this side. And if he's black, it could be from this side. But it's still 50% white. Crazy. 50%. So, are we getting to the bottom of this list now? We're almost... we're almost getting to the bottom of this list now. Well, just remembered another one. Who's bad? Hold on a minute. That's Michael Jackson Sr. Son Joseph Joe Jackson. Alright then. Ow! Los Angeles. Let's have a look. Michael Jackson. Then again, this is a bad man, isn't it? I don't really want to be looking at this. But you can see Free Man, that's another black one. Gale, that's another black one. But then again, that goes all the way back. Goes all the way back. These don't. So it's looking like Michael Jackson is virtually black. But we'll follow the white line. And if you follow that Jackson line all the way back, guess what? Guess what? It goes to Monsieur So France. So Michael Jackson, whoops, could be French. Well, he's got French ties. Laurent, French. Henry Fox Jr., Squire, he goes all the way back. French. Is that, well, Henry Fox isn't French. Colonel Henry Fox II isn't French. So this is all white. But look at this. Blackwater Native American Rose. That's where we're getting it from. So that's another Native American. Because they realised rather than fighting the Native Americans, it's easier to marry them. So that's what they did. James Joe Richburg Sr. of everywhere married this Native American woman of nobody. And that's why Jack July Gale was black. Let's have a look. Anyway, I don't really want to be looking at him. He's got white connections all over him. But he's a bad guy, so I don't really want to go through. I've done Eddie Murphy. Can't remember whether I've done Eddie Murphy or not. Did I? Did I not? Pretty sure I did. Murphy. Yeah, I did. Alright then. Michelle Nichols. But why is she called Nichelle? I always thought she was called Michelle. Del Michelle Nichols. Well, there she is in all her glory. It's looking good, but then again, Parks, Henry Parks is not really a black name. Aaron Parks is. Melissa Parks. Oh. Emma Humphrey Hibbets. Minerva. Lucia. I don't know, but these are kind of white names, aren't they? They're kind of white names. So you have to wonder what's going on. It's not going to tell us anything about them. Mississippi. It's not going to tell them anything. So we don't know. But anyway, that's basically it. If you want to have a look at all these names, check them out. Virtually all of them I'm related to, because virtually all of them have links to white guys. Chris Tucker, I don't think I've done him. So it's surprising that I am related to all these white guys. I don't even know whether this is the right guy. No, it's not looking like it. Anyway. So that's it. We've finally gone through them all, I think. Or at least the ones that I think I want to go through. There are tons and tons and tons of them. Tons of them that I could go through. Ha! Don King. That'd be a nice one, wouldn't it? Let's end on Don King. Never done Don King before. It's bound to be there. Then again, I don't know if it's the actual guy. Another Montgomery. But it looks like he's another black guy because we haven't got anything. Sylvester King, he's obviously black. Wilma Jetty. Tennessee Douglas, that looks all black to me. So anyway, we've gone through them all. And there are tons and tons and tons of people, Beyonce and all the rest of it, to go through. But there's black guys in white people as well. There's white guys in black people. So, alright, then let's end on Johnny Depp. To end this, at least end on a star. Johnny Depp. Do you think Johnny Depp's a white guy? Well, let's have a look. I happen to know Johnny Depp has got a Native American heritage. And I promise you, I'm not going to find it. Look at this, he's linked to everybody. Everybody. And I'm linked to Johnny Depp as well. Let's have a look. So let's see. And so I wonder if I can find it. Depp. Let's have a look. Let's see where Depp comes from. Depp. But yeah, I did find that this guy has Native American in there. But it's looking like it's back to French on this side. Going all the way back. And on his mother's side. But it is there. I think at some point there is definitely some Native American marrying going on. Thomas going an ancient planter. What does that mean? Twig Hodges. Anyway. So of course I'm related to Johnny Depp. Because he's a white guy. But everybody's related to everybody is related to everybody. So it doesn't really matter, does it? So thank you for viewing all this. And I'll see you again another one sometime soon.